Formerly, there were dinosaurs so dangerous that scientists are still surprised by their ferocity. Top 10 The most dangerous dinosaurs. Ankylosaurus. Its name means armored lizard. He lived in what is now North America during the Cretaceous period. It measured 5.58 feet in height, 20.5 feet in length, and weighed around 6 tons. It is recognized by its bony formations covered with collagen and by the enormous mallet in its tail. Chances are he used that to deal with his enemies. He also had 2 horns raised from the back of the skull. In the background, it was a quiet animal that used its formidable defenses to dissuade its enemies and to continue eating its plants. Allosaurus. It lived in what is now the United States and Portugal at the end of the Jurassic period. It measured up to 29.5 feet in length and 11.5 feet of height, but it did not weigh as much, only 4,850 pounds, just like an Indian rhinoceros. Its skull was also light, but his jaws contained 60 D-shaped teeth. Since he had to deal with gigantic dinosaurs such as Apatosaurus and Diplodocus, it most likely used ambushes as a method of hunting and attacking as a group. Pentaceratops. Don't those horns look terrifying to you? This dinosaur lived in North America at the end of the Cretaceous period. It was 26 feet long and 13.1 feet high. It weighed around 6 tons and it looked terrifying. It had 3 horns on its head, a strong beak, and thorns in its tail. They walked in packs, and all his bones served to ram his enemies or decide who was the leader of his group. Being a herbivore, it used its beak to pull the ferns from the earth. Carnotaurus. This dinosaur lived at the end of the Cretaceous period in what is now South America. It was 29.5 feet long and weighed more than a ton. Its appearance was terrifying because it had 2 horns on the top of its skull, hence his name. Paleontologists have determined that he had a formidable sense of smell, that he ran at a great speed, and that his hide possessed scales similar to those of a crocodile. It has been determined that it used its horns against members of its own species, and that it had small eyes to avoid being damaged in combat. Velociraptor. You must know about velociraptors thanks to Jurassic Park, but the film has some inaccuracies. In the early part of the saga, paleontologists find a velociraptor skeleton in the Montana desert, which is impossible because this animal lived in the deserts of Asia during the Cretaceous period. Their appearance is also different from reality. The velociraptor had his body covered with feathers, especially under the forearms as if they were wings. His name means fast thief, and he was fearsome. It had 28 teeth per jaw and a claw on his hind legs that he used to nail into the veins of his victims. At the moment of killing, it leaned on one end and kicked with the other to stay on his prey. A carnivorous ostrich. Utahraptor. This relative of the velociraptor was worse than the former. Its name means predator of Utah and lived in what today is that state. It was relatively small. It was 23 feet long and weighed 1,102 pounds. However, he had a formidable 10-inch claw, and its herd attack was deadly. Scientists have discovered that just like the velociraptor, it was covered in feathers. But don't be fooled, the Utahraptor was a serial killer. Tyrannosaurus rex. It is the most famous dinosaur of all, and its name means king lizard. He lived in the Cretaceous period in what is now North America. He was 39.4 feet long, 13 feet high, and weighed 6 to 8 tons. Its skull was 5 feet long, and he had teeth that from the outside measured 25 inches, but from the root they were 30 inches long, making it the dinosaur with the best teeth. Its jaw could exert pressure on his prey from 3 to 5 tons, enough to tear flesh and bone. On the other hand, paleontologists do not know what its true speed was. but they think it's likely that he reached 34 miles per hour. Despite this, it was only the fourth largest carnivorous dinosaur. The other three come next. Carcharodontosaurus. This dinosaur lived in what is Africa today during the Cretaceous period. Its name means shark-tooth reptile or sharpened-tooth reptile. It measured 43 feet in length and weighed 15 tons. It had a gigantic skull about 6 feet long. Its great teeth ripped through flesh, and its hook-shaped front claws served to sustain whatever it wanted to kill. In addition, it was extremely fast, capable of running 20 miles per hour. Gigantosaurus. This predator lived in what is now Argentina during the Cretaceous period. It measured 39 feet in length and weighed 8 tons. Its skull was 5 feet long. It was so large that it ate animals the size of a Tyrannosaurus. Its front legs had 3 fingers with large claws. Yet it had a weakness. Its size prevented him from running fast. Paleontologists confirmed this by finding that its femur, i.e. the upper leg bone, measured more than its tibia, the lower bone, which made it even heavier. Most likely, it was an ambush predator. Spinosaurus. If you saw Jurassic Park 3, you for sure must remember this dinosaur. It was the largest carnivore ever known. It measured 40.5 feet in length and weighed 20 tons. It had a long, narrow skull and small ridges over its eyes. Its main characteristic was the thorns that grew in its back up to 5 feet. There is a whole debate about how it used them. It is believed that they served to intimidate his victims or to regulate their temperature. It spent as much time in the water as on the earth, similar to a crocodile, and its main prey were the dinosaurs that were leaning in to fish. If you feel like becoming a paleontologist and you want to go to the desert and look for dinosaurs, don't forget to subscribe, share the video, and like it.